So, as of now, we've missed about 2 weeks of the baseball season, I believe. Maybe just over that. And, of course, the big thing is, will there be a season? How will there be a season? What's the protocol? What's the plan? I don't know. And there have been a lot of crazy plans thrown out there of how are they going to get some semblance of a season, because they're never going to get a full 162 certainly at this point. There's no chance they're going to get, I think, even say like a 120. I think that's out the door. And there have been a handful of ideas thrown out there. I don't know how legit they are. I'm not even sure, like, necessarily if they come directly from people who work with MLB, or if it's just journalists or whoever throwing it out there. But the craziest one now that I've heard is they're gonna go over to Japan and play the whole season over in Japan. I don't know how many games, but they'll play the whole. They'll just scoop up all the teams and all the players, and we'll go over to Japan and play a season. That is so ridiculous. Like the other one I'd heard that I think is kind of from MLB the other day, or it came out a week ago or whatever. I don't even know what days. I can't even tell days apart anymore. Was they would go to Arizona, and between the Diamondback Stadium and college stadiums in the area, and I think some of the spring training facilities, they would just have all the teams there and just use all those fields and play games for the season. I thought that was pretty stupid too, because just a logistical idea, it's really bad, especially as I saw pointed out. You get in the middle of summer, you're going to be playing games outdoors in Arizona in 110-degree heat, sometimes double headers because you got to fit in all these games. You're going to have players, forget the virus, you're going to have players dying of heat stroke. So that was dumb enough. But this Japan idea, what are you talking? When did I miss something? Is Japan like a safe zone now or something? They've got their own problems. They're not gonna take on this huge ordeal for what reason? I don't even know. Like, it's insanity. Like, there isn't a good plan for what to do. There's one that was suggested that I thought was somewhat interesting as a possibility. Just have teams play divisions, their own divisions, just because you play about 18, 19 a year anyway. So you add that up, that's about 80 games, and you can add a couple extra games in there. So you'd have like half a season just playing that. It would cut down on travel, because like the Twins, for example, they would only have to go to Cleveland, Detroit, Kansas City, Chicago. That's it. That's a very limited travel. You don't have to worry as much about like off days and stuff. But like even that, and that was not suggested by anyone connected to MLB, I don't think, but even that would be really hard to pull off. And I'm not even going to get into the whole New York thing, because there's not going to be any sporting event played in New York again in 2020. I would bet significant money on that. At least not in the metro New York City area. But like I said, there's not a good option. Everything's bad. I don't know what the solution's going to be for MLB. I have basically been saying that I don't think there's going to be a season. I think it's just because you got to start it, I would say, at the absolute latest in, because you need, even if you're going to do like an 80-game season, you need about 3 months for a regular season, and then you can maybe do a quick playoffs So you gotta do it. You gotta get it going by beginning of August at the absolute latest, because you can stretch it. I think the idea of maybe doing like a neutral site World Series isn't the worst idea in the world. I mean, like if the Yankees were to get into World Series, well, they're still not going to be able to play in New York, so a neutral site might be a compromise. I mean, that's not a bad idea, but like even that, it doesn't seem possible. It doesn't seem possible that they're going to be able to get things, opened up in this country to where you can, play even like an 80-game season, because there's a lot of travel. I mean, you're traveling cross country, and then you find out someone's sick, and then they've taken it to all the way across the country, and it's just it's a fucked up situation. But it's hard to imagine there being baseball, but the plans for it are just not good, and I think at best we'll get about an 80-game season starting maybe end of July, beginning of August, and then just sprint through it. And I think they could even, they could cut down on the length of the playoffs too. Just do it like, best of three, and then maybe do a best of 7 World Series in a neutral site. So you did that, then you wouldn't have to worry about travel days. You could just go bing, bing, bing. But yeah, the Tokyo idea is just madness to me, and the Arizona idea is just kind of madness to me. There aren't any good ideas. I don't think they're trying to come up with stupid ideas. I think a lot of it's just desperation at this point, because I think a lot of people, maybe whether connected to MLB or just fans, are just kind of, they're desperate. And I'm desperate. I should have been at Target Field a couple times already by now, or at least once. But I just don't think that's going to happen. And I didn't even bring up the idea of playing games with no fans. I think that's 100% there will be no fans at games. Even if they get in like an 80-game season, there will not be fans at the games, because it's just a logistical nightmare at this point to do anything. I mean, you can't even, they can't even open the golf courses because they are worried about too many people. I mean, so I miss baseball. I hope something works out where they can get in a season, even if it's a partial season. I know people will be like, well, it's not a real season. You only played 80 games. Well, that sucks, but, it's happened before. You had this, the 81 strike, and you've had shortened seasons, and, life will go on. But, I hope they get some sort of season, but I doubt it. I mean, I put the odds that there being any baseball this year at 20%. I just think it just seems impossible. Maybe that's just because we're still very much in the thick of everything. But so yeah, I guess I've rambled for like 9 minutes here. But yeah, some of these ideas are just insane for how to get a season in. I think the most sensible is just wait it out as long as you possibly can, which is, I think, middle of summer to even plan it, and then just throw together a schedule and marathon it, or no, that would be the sprint, not the marathon. And then, maybe do neutral site World Series, but we'll see. Not much. I don't think we'll know one way or the other for sure on a season for probably a couple more months, because they can wait. We'll see. Wash your hands, everybody.